Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Monday, March 17, 2025, pre-market report. I want to step back for just a moment and talk about something that you and I, have covered right here on this blog from quite a while back. Several months ago, you and I, discussed how we were going to see a new phase of debt expansion on an epic scale. Right now, this is absolutely in play with this new Middle East war. I don't know another way to put it. President Trump is looking to put together a coalition of partners to continue this undeclared war. Let's start off with some headlines just real quick so we can come up to speed. As you know already, at least I hope you do, no other endeavor on the planet creates a greater need for more borrowed dollars than war. Propagation of war, the lead up to war, or war itself requires vast amounts of cash. Cash that we do not have. It has to be borrowed into existence, in this case, from the Federal Reserve, and every single dollar that a central bank, or in this case the Federal Reserve, is allowed to create out of nothing, the stronger they become exponentially. And I've been telling all you guys for I don't know how long, this is the game. Central banks will be allowed to fulfill their goal, their end game, which is to own it all, which is to issue more of their product, their single product is debt, to the world. And right now, with what is going on here, and not just that, it comes down to so many other factors. We do have this war. And it's a war. Okay, I mean, I'll read some of these headlines to you real quick. This is not going to stop. And again, with President Trump looking to put together a coalition of nations, I don't even know who our allies are anymore. We'll talk more about that in a moment. It's an interesting concept or a dynamic to think about. But what this comes down to here is, look, man, the United States economy and the world economy is it was crashing. It's over here. The middle class is being exterminated like bugs. It's an extinction level event. This is just going to exacerbate that. Think about the mechanism here. Obviously, this is going to this new war and everything else connected to it. This is all about creating debt, pushing more debt into the system, which could potentially be a mechanism to prop up the stock market as well. The more debt that is pumped into the system, the more likely it is for the stock market to continue to float on this expanding ocean of debt. It's just a wealth transfer mechanism. It's going to destroy the currency purchasing power and wreck the economy. That's just the way it is. It's an incredible thing. So anyway, here's Bloomberg. U.S. vows unrelenting strikes on Houthis over ship attacks. This is a better perspective, I think. This is CNBC. So U.S. piles pressure on Yemen's Houthis with new airstrikes. Let me read this to you real quick. Wow, I'm tired. My eyes are a little blurry this morning. The United States continues to carry out new airstrikes on Yemen. This is today on Monday, expanding its U.S. military operations in the Middle East. Now, this is where it gets even more interesting in my view. And I want to hear from you on this because maybe I'm missing something. So President Donald Trump is attempting to put together a coalition of nations as the strikes could continue for weeks, according to a U.S. military spokesperson. Now, people, look, man, some of you are way more on this than I am. Who are our allies anymore? I don't know who they are. With this economic war, we're in an economic war. It's global. I do not know who our allies are anymore. Now, with President Trump attempting to put together some kind of a coalition here, uh, who? I don't know. You guys and girls tell me, what nations do you believe are going to back this new war? I don't know. I can't think right now, honestly, and maybe it's because I'm just tired, of a single nation that is, who would consider themselves an ally of the United States at this time. So President Trump is going to have a little bit of a difficult time here, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, and I want to hear from you on this. Putting together some kind of a coalition to continue this new war. Explain this to me, someone here. Now, I'm asking you honestly. A lot of you guys study geopolitics, maybe more than I do, but I don't see that the United States has a single ally anymore. Let me know about that, because you need allies to support a war, and that's exactly what we have here. Anyway, you guys can just let me know about that. Now, this is really good news. You're gonna love this. Treasury Secretary Bessent says the White House is heading off a guaranteed financial crisis. In other words, we can all rest easy now. Let me say something about the Treasury Secretary Bessent here. This beautiful man has not, for one time ever since he's been sitting in office selected by Donald Trump, told us the truth. Everything he said has been a lie up to so far. And you have to understand, I get it. The U.S. Treasury Secretary's job is to peddle debt, to peddle U.S. debt to the world. The world doesn't want our debt. The world doesn't want our products. The world doesn't want our dollar. You understand? So, do you think this is an opportunity for you to rest easy? Do you believe that Scott Bessent is actually saying this? We're heading off a guaranteed financial crisis. We're moving rapidly we're already in it. What are we talking about here? We're in a liquidity crisis on a massive scale. We're in a currency crisis on a massive scale. We're in an inflationary crisis on a massive scale. Our economy is being wiped out. But that does not mean that the stock market is going to fall, because what this is really about is vast debt expansion. And vast debt expansion, because you knew this was coming from many, many months ago, has the potential to float the market, has the potential to float it and maybe even push it higher. But let's look about this. This is an interesting headline here. This is from the Tell. Wall Street begins to cut S&P targets as tariff worries and Middle East war test the stock market. Wall Street is beginning to rethink its price targets. Only a few months into 2025, the sharp decline in U.S. stocks, this is a normal correction in my view, has prompted some of Wall Street's top forecasters to scale back their bullish predictions for the S&P 500. With escalating trade wars and now a potentially new, listen to this, with escalating trade wars and now a potentially new protracted U.S. war in Yemen. I didn't even freaking pay attention to that one. There is growing skepticism on Wall Street. Now let me say this, man. Skepticism on Wall Street, maybe they're missing the bigger picture, or maybe I am. I see vast debt expansion and this new war as a way to allow the Fed to inflate. And that potentially could raise the stock market. Does that make sense to you? Tell me if it does or it doesn't. Because look, man, it's early. I've only had one cup of coffee so far. Here's another piece of news you guys and girls need to know about. You already knew this because we spoke about it, but here it is. This is Market Watch. It's getting uncomfortably difficult to find a job here in the United States. This is part of the economic collapse. Oh my goodness. More Americans are having to rely on trying to find part-time work to make ends meet, as finding full-time employment is getting more and more difficult, a trend that presents growing concern for job hunters. It's over. And this, believe me when I'm telling you here, people, I've been sounding the alarm now for quite a while. The private sector, for jobs, we're going to see some bad stuff coming down the pike. We already understand that the big corporations, corporate America, many corporations already are putting a hiring freeze on right now, and many have already announced layoffs. Do you see what's going on? Let me tell you what I wish was happening here. I'll be honest with you. A lot of you guys and girls support this new war. I did read through the comments here where this is going to go. But I really do wish, the timing of this is interesting with the stock market dropping. You understand? Again, this is not a crash in my opinion. I wrote a whole paper recently. I sent that out to you in my newsletter. There is a link in the description of this video. I didn't go over it here with you guys and girls. It's in your inbox. Okay, it'll be in the Trends Journal. It comes out tomorrow. Um, the issue is basically what it comes down to is this. Um, I believe that this new war, which, and again, please help me with this one. How is this going to work? Who are our allies right now? Russia already yesterday said, well, didn't demand, but they said that the United States needs to stop its attacks over there, and they should use diplomacy instead of doing this. But it's obviously that fell on deaf ears here because, again, I believe this is a mechanism to allow the Fed to inflate, which could prop up the stock market. I don't think the timing of this is just by chance. Again, vast debt expansion on the back of this is epic. And I want to know, President Trump is attempting to put together a coalition of nations. Who are our allies? Will someone here who's smarter than Greg Mannarino, which is probably all of you, tell me who are our allies right now who would even consider doing this right now? I don't know, man. You guys are just let me know how it's going to work out with this here. But again, the timing of this is just it's impeccable. Vast debt expansion. We don't have the cash for this. You understand? We're broke. What we're going to see here is, again, another a premise that you and I have spoken about. We're going to see debts and deficits balloon from here. And this new war is going to help propagate that, allowing the Fed to inflate. We don't have the cash. The Fed has to create the cash out of nothing, pull it into the now, buy military equipment, fund the U.S. military. That's how it works. You understand here? So the timing here is very, very suspicious. And not suspicious. It's obvious. Obvious what's going on here. It's a mechanism to prop up the stock market. It might work. It might not work. And I'm going to tell you why. What does the market hate above all things? Uncertainty. This injects a certain amount of uncertainty into the market. Now, we are going to hear from the Swiss National Bank, who's expected to cut rates. We're going to hear from the Fed this week. I don't think they're going to cut rates this week. Could I be wrong? Maybe. I believe we're going to see the Fed start to cut rates June, July, and then we're going to see a series of them again as the economy continues to contract. All this is another mechanism to allow the Fed to inflate. Again, vast debt expansion on the back of an economy that is dead. They're going to sell this to you as something you need. We need to cut rates to boost the economy because Joe Biden wrecked it. That's what you're going to hear. But the fact of the matter is, we do not need lower rates because it's going to destroy the purchasing power of the currency. Vast debt expansion because of this new war or coalition, if Trump can put it together, which is going to be very interesting to see. Another mechanism to vastly inflate the debt. Does this make sense to you what I'm saying? Or is Greg totally out there? I wish President Trump would focus more on domestic issues right now. It isn't working. Because again, to do that would mean we'd have to support the economy. The economy is being dismantled piece by piece. It's being destructed piece by piece, only to issue in a new system. You all know that. It's in your freaking face here. Pretty obvious, right? Anyway, look, guys and girls, I hope you got something out of this this video. And tell me where I'm getting things right or wrong. Tell me, who is President Trump going to reach out to attempting to build a coalition of nations? Explain this to me. I don't know who our allies are anymore. And I can't imagine a single nation that's going to reach out, or if President Trump reaches out to right now, that is going to willingly join this. They're going to say, no, it's your fight. Fight it yourself. That's what's going to happen here. The timing of this, again, people, it's not about fighting the Houthis. It's about more debt to prop up the stock market. Sound about right to you? Because that's where it's going. That's exactly what's happening here. All right, guys and girls, love you all from the heart. I do want to hear from you. Greg, you got this completely wrong. Greg, you know what? I think you got it right. Let me know what you think about this, people. Again, this is our thing, man, not my thing, and we are absolutely stronger together. Make sense to you? I'll see all of you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. With that, people, please, man, take care of yourselves, and more importantly, take care of each other, man. We got to come together on this. We've been divided. We've been conquered. It's over for us. It really is, unless we can unify. And I don't see that happening. I really, really don't. There's a group of, I would call them extremists, who have it's a minority, but it's this minority of extremists who have basically taken things over here in the United States, and it's evil. It's evil on a massive scale, and it's going to wreak havoc on the people. Unfortunately, this is how I see this playing out. Extremism in every form is evil. You understand? I hope you guys and girls realize what I'm talking about without me actually having to say it. But I think most of you get it. Love you all from the heart with all I got. Let me know what you think about this, all right? I'll see you later.